No more launches this year is a rather disappointing reality for Starship, despite the positive progress made on the vehicle. But why is this the case? The same holds true for Blue Origin's New Glenn, although the company is still in the early stages of testing. Meanwhile, the lunar mission launched by SpaceX, known as Blue Ghost, is gearing up and ready to fly early next year. Let's explore this further on today's episode of Secrets of the Universe. Starbase remains a hive of activity as the year comes to a close, with significant progress being made toward preparing for Flight 7. Following the successful static fire of Ship 33, both the booster and ship are undergoing checks in Mega Bay and Mega Bay 2. This flurry of activity has kept many, including myself, hopeful for one final launch before the year's end. However, as the days dwindle, this expectation is fading due to several contributing factors that cannot be ignored. Firstly, while the FAA has officially approved Flight 7, SpaceX has yet to announce a concrete launch date. The January 11th date being widely circulated is based on NASA's proposed timeline, not an official declaration from SpaceX. Historically, SpaceX has announced launch dates early and prominently, often accompanied by live stream schedules and other public updates. The absence of such an announcement this time suggests that certain hurdles remain unresolved. Furthermore, no credible sources have indicated any launch readiness before the close of the year, and Cameron County, responsible for road closures to ensure public safety during launches, is unlikely to approve further closures within the remaining days of 2024. Hardware complications also appear to be playing a role in the delay. Booster 14, despite its seemingly successful static fire test, exhibited peculiar behavior during its recent handoff. When B-14 was moved to the production site on December 10, it paused for 2 hours before being brought into Mega Bay. During this time, scaffolding and cranes were assembled around the booster, with focused work observed on its grid fins. While it remains unclear whether these activities were routine adjustments or indicative of deeper issues, they have undoubtedly introduced further delays. Considering the extent of the checklist remaining, including checks, installations, rolling wet dress rehearsal, and flight termination system installation, the likelihood of a launch within the week is increasingly slim. Ground systems have also posed challenges. Following Flight 6, the tower communications system suffered a collapse, and though repaired, its long-term functionality remains under scrutiny. SpaceX may need to implement additional upgrades to ensure its reliability for the catching attempt planned on Flight 7. Additionally, the orbital launch mount and protective wall require further reinforcement and repainting to guarantee operational safety. Nearby, progress continues on upgrading the tank farm, a critical system supporting Starship's methane and liquid oxygen needs. New tanks are being installed to replace older units and expand capacity. This development ties directly to the planned increase in Starship's launch frequency in 2025, beginning with Flight 7. However, completing these upgrades may delay the mission timeline further. Simultaneously, Launch Pad B has become a focal point of activity as SpaceX prepares for future missions. Components such as a water deluge manifold system, flame bucket, water-cooled deck, and chopsticks assembly structure are under construction and will soon be installed. SpaceX is likely aiming to have these systems operational by January 28, aligning with their plans to catch a ship during Flight 8. Ensuring Launchpad B's readiness for immediate use after Flight 7 is crucial for minimizing delays between missions and maintaining their ambitious schedule for 2025. All of these factors have contributed to delays in stacking the 2 stages for Flight 7. Stacking is a critical milestone that would need to occur immediately for a 2024 launch to remain feasible. As this has not yet happened, the chances of launching this year are dwindling rapidly. While this delay may feel disappointing, it is important to remember how much SpaceX has achieved this year. Completing 4 successful Starship test flights is an extraordinary accomplishment, surpassing the expectations of many. Each flight has provided invaluable data and insights, pushing SpaceX closer to its ultimate goal of creating a reliable, reusable spacecraft capable of transforming space exploration and transportation. These achievements have laid a strong foundation for what promises to be an even more groundbreaking 2025. Looking forward, Flight 7 will undoubtedly mark the beginning of another exciting chapter for SpaceX and its supporters. As we wait for the next launch, let's remain patient and enthusiastic about SpaceX's journey. Progress in cutting-edge technology often comes with challenges, but each hurdle overcome brings us closer to a future where space is more accessible than ever before. Comment: I'm still waiting to show your support for SpaceX's vision, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on their extraordinary developments. Together, we can continue to celebrate the achievements of this pioneering company and the bright future it is building for humanity. Let's shift the spotlight over to New Glenn. This massive rocket from Blue Origin, once touted as a game-changer in space exploration, has faced repeated delays, leading to growing frustration among enthusiasts and industry experts. If Blue Origin cannot at least complete the critical testing process this year, it would mark another major setback for the company. Unfortunately, launching in 2024 is no longer feasible, but there is finally a glimmer of progress. Dave Limp, Blue Origin CEO, recently confirmed that the wet dress rehearsal test would be conducted first, a crucial step in validating New Glenn systems. On December 19th, this long-awaited test appeared to take place. Reports suggest that both stages of the rocket were fueled, evidenced by strong venting activity from the vehicle. So far, no issues have been reported, which indicates that the test may have been successful. However, this initial step is merely the appetizer. The real milestone everyone has been waiting for is the hot fire test involving New Glenn's 7B-4 engines. This test will determine whether the rocket is truly ready for its debut flight. It's a high-stakes moment for Blue Origin and a critical juncture in the rocket's development. Certification for the hot fire test, as mentioned by Limp, has not yet been announced. The FAA's latest updates regarding Blue Origin focus primarily on its designation as a fourth commercial space operator and its integration with the Space Data Integrator. Based on current progress, the hot fire test might still be completed by the end of the year, provided the wet dress rehearsal results are solid and the necessary licensing is secured without delays. Even so, the inability to launch in 2024 remains a glaring disappointment for a company with nearly a quarter-century of operation and immense potential. Not yet reaching orbit is remarkable and not in a good way. Delays with New Glenn's debut mission will also have significant downstream impacts on other key initiatives, including NASA's Mars spacecraft launch, national security space launch missions, Kuiper satellite launches, and the company's progress on its lunar rocket. Regarding the inaugural launch itself, even if the hot fire test is successful, the mission likely won't take place until at least the first half of January. Additional complications, whether from the test or the lengthy licensing process, could push the launch further. In the meantime, SpaceX fans can take solace in knowing that Starship Flight 7 will almost certainly lift off before New Glenn's debut. In fact, it's possible that Starship Flight 8, with its potential recovery of both stages, may also launch ahead of New Glenn. As the industry gears up for 2024, the competition between these two aerospace giants promises to be thrilling. The question now is how Blue Origin and SpaceX will close out the year and set the tone for the next. Let's watch closely. And for our final piece of news today, we have to talk about the Falcon 9 Blue Ghost mission update. The Blue Ghost lunar lander arrived at NASA's Kennedy Space Center on December 16th. In an update released the same day, NASA confirmed that the mission is scheduled for mid-January aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. If this timeline holds, it's likely to become the first lunar mission of 2024. However, the first lunar mission of 2024 will be astrobotic, having launched on a ULA Vulcan rocket. According to a statement from NASA official Joel Kars and updates shared on X, the Blue Ghost mission is part of the Artemis program, though it primarily relies on private sector services. The mission, also known as Ghost Riders in the Sky, will carry 10 NASA payloads under the Commercial Lunar Payload Services Initiative. These instruments are designed to support a range of activities, including studying solar wind, lunar geology and composition, radiation levels, electrostatic systems, GPS technology, and more. In addition to scientific experiments, the mission includes two particularly intriguing activities. Blue Ghost will capture a 360-degree view of the solar eclipse caused by Earth passing between the Moon and the Sun, offering a rare and dramatic perspective. Another experiment will observe the horizon glowing with lunar dust, a phenomenon first reported by Apollo 17 astronaut Eugene Cernan. These observations will provide crucial data for future Artemis missions. The mission is expected to last approximately 60 days. Blue Ghost will first spend 25 days in Earth orbit, followed by 4 days transitioning into lunar orbit. It will then spend 16 days flying around the Moon before descending to the lunar surface. Once landed, it will operate for the remainder of its mission until its batteries and power supply are depleted during the lunar night. Expectations for this mission are high, and with the reliable support of SpaceX's Falcon 9, many are confident that both the journey and the mission's objectives will proceed smoothly. Success here will not only advance our understanding of the Moon but also bolster humanity's aspirations of returning there under the Artemis program.